You are watching the Capital City Sports Network on SGTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Capital City Sports Network tonight from the Pavilion in Taylor, South Carolina. Gamecock hockey action. The American College Hockey Association proudly presents the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers. We come to you on a bit of a delay here. We tried to get it live, couldn't do it. You're going to be hearing this rebroadcast eventually on YouTube. We're going to pick it up right in the action right away. A shot there. The Gamecocks pressuring early. 19:35 to go here in period number one. My name is Dillon Clark. Tonight I'm joined by Johnny Hartel. You'll hear more of him in a moment. Ryan Soar controls from the point. The Gamecocks try to move it down low. Nothing doing there. Ryan Soar back from suspension tonight. Zach Lynch back from his suspension as well. He is starting in goal tonight for the Gamecocks. Jacob Badger on the other side of the ice between the pipes for Clemson. Jacob Tenji, who was injured in last night's game, will play tonight. He's not on the ice currently, as Ben Smith goes into the corner for the puck there. Smith and Soar team up for it. Smith falling down to his legs. And now Cam Meka spinning out of the corner. Centering pass, that one stopped by Badger. Rebound covered up. And Jacob Badger able to get a stoppage in play, a whistle, and a breath. And you will hear for the first time Mr. Johnny Hartel. Johnny, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Dylan. The Gamecocks looking really good on the forecheck right now. The big addition, Soar's back, like you said, from suspension. He's getting it deep in the zone. Let's see if the Gamecocks can put one in.
Alan Surwatt scratching a considerable amount of players, dressing fewer than he possibly can. As a shot goes off the leg here, and it's going to be a breakaway the other way for Vanderleest. The ref went down. Vanderleest drops the puck off to no one. The Gamecocks regain control. Clemson regroups at center ice. As I was saying, Surwatt dressing a short bench intentionally tonight after an 8-3 loss on home ice last night to the Charlotte 49ers. Surwatt less than impressed with the effort from his team. And his train of thinking right now is maybe a short bench will inspire the boys and help them play a little fiercer here. Van Duzen in a collision on the near side. Cam Meka rubbed out along the boards. Puck popping back out. We're right down here at ice level. I'm sure you can hear just how explosive these hits are right now. Chance in front. Badger makes a save. The rebound still loose. Van Duzen the shot stopped by Badger as well. Into the corner now. Corey Hawkinson. Gamecock leader in points. Corey Hawkinson teams up with Bobby Van Duzen, but the Tigers take control. Just under 2 minutes played here in the first period. A scoreless hockey game here in Taylor, South Carolina. The Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers. Nick Pizzo picks it up in the neutral zone. Pizzo surveys, plays that one to no one. Pizzo's gonna get after it himself though, rubbed out along the boards. Clemson will regroup. They go D to D. The puck pops back out to the red stripe at center ice. They'll dump it back in. Jake Badger to stop it there. Jared Cohen swings, drops it off. Matthew Mancini for Clemson. Going to take a look behind his own goal. They'll chip it up to the near side faceoff dot. Corey Hawkinson waves at that puck, but it goes by him. Drifting in now on Zach Lynch. It'll come in. Lynch gets the paddle behind it, the glove on top. A cover and a faceoff here with 17:20 to go here in period number one. The Gamecocks registering 4 shots on goal. Clemson has yet to get their first, and we had a chance to talk to head coach of the Clemson Tigers, Matt Loughran, and the lack of shots was something that he said has been bothering the team all season.
Correct, Dylan. He said that they just can't put the puck in the net. They can't finish breakaways or man advantages, and they haven't been able to all season.
Luck has not been on the side of the Tigers so far. 3-9-3 coming into this game. They try to turn things around against a Gamecock team that's lost 2 in a row. Near side, the Tigers dig away with it. They come with it behind the goal. A nice hit there by Tyler Oakley. Separates man from puck. Back at the point now. Long shot tipped in front. Never got to that. Rebound. Bit of a chop shot off the near side. Zach Lynch got the paddle down to get that one. Now it's going to be chased for the Gamecocks. Back the other way. 2-on-1. Ronan Egan down the right side. Egan looking towards the shot. Ronan Egan shoots one. Caught the shoulder of the goaltender, the glass, maybe even the netting, but play not whistled down. Egan's got it again in the slot. His shot goes wide and catches the boards in behind Jake Badger. Clemson in their own zone, trying to keep that puck away from Ronan Egan. It squirts free, a shot on Matt Owen, rang one off the post. Matt Owen, a grade A chance in the slot. Ronan Egan digs away at it. Corey Hawkinson behind the goal. Hawkinson denied possession there by Jared Cohen of the Tigers. Cohen behind his own goal now with 2 Gamecocks on him. Egan shoots one and a chance there. Poked away, Badger's on the seat of his pants. Puck ends up in the corner once more. Lifted all the way up and clanging off one of the support beams of the roof here at the Pavilion. We'll get a stoppage and play. The faceoff will come in the zone for Clemson. And 16:05 to go here in period number one.
And in these first 4 minutes, it's really been all Gamecocks. They've had the puck deep in the zone, and that's basically drawn up by their execution in the neutral zone.
Coach Surwash said a good start is always, always, always a great place to build. Sort of goes without saying, but it's important when you see it. When you see it put into words. I wish you could have seen that one. That puck just jammed right into the roof by one of the Clemson defenders. Again, the faceoff will come back in the same faceoff dot. Only about 3 seconds going off the clock that time. 16:01 to go. Yeah, 6 shots so far for the Gamecocks, just 1 for the Tigers. Offensive zone draw, 1 to Corey Hawkinson, but he won it to one of the Tigers. Now a chance. Hawkinson almost got it back. The Tigers regain possession. They'll move it out. Near side, John McCain. McCain shoots one. That one hit the side of the net, got past Zach Lynch, and ends up in behind. Ian Powderly on it now for South Carolina. 3-on-2. Powderly with Hawkinson and Ben Smith down the slot. Shot there by Hawkinson, stopped by Jake Badger, got the stick and the blocker on it. Another face-off, shot number 7 on the night for the Gamecocks, and we are less than 5 minutes into this game.
Less than 5 minutes into the game, but as I said before, all Gamecocks in the opening drive. You know, Clemson's getting into the Gamecock zone a little bit, but Gamecocks are quick to turn around and bring the puck up on a man advantage.
South Carolina unable to keep the pressure on in the third period last game. That seemed to be their undoing. They'll try to maintain some consistency tonight. Back at the point, Tyler Oakley's shot tipped in front, never got to that. Still it's loose, poked through, just wide of the goal. That puck squeaked right past the blocker of Jacob Badger and outside the post. Another shot tipped in front. Badger makes that save as well. Gamecocks buzzing. The rotation goes back down low. Jake Tenji, Gamecock captain, in behind the goal. Clemson regains control. Tyler Oakley now at the point for South Carolina. Can't hang on to it. Tenji, turning shot goes through the crease and into the far side corner. Chop pass right there, and it's going to get to one of the Tigers at center ice. Back in the opposite direction, Paul Cunningham. He spins back towards center ice. He's going to head for the bench now. Line changes for both teams. The Gamecocks break it out of their own zone. Shoveled in on the backhand by Cam Mecca. Sent back out by the Tigers, picked up on the near side. Jacob Vanderleest drops it off in the slot. Isaiah Jackson taken down there by Evan Hoey. And Hoey takes another hit there. Hoey with some contact there on Jack Webster. Back out it comes. Webster's got it in his feet. In their own zone, the Gamecocks taking control from the Tigers' own zone. Shoveled back in on the backhand by Nick Peters. Peters on a defensive unit with Duncan Hickman, as he was last night. And now back the other way. Clemson, a saucer pass could not connect. Big hit there by Nick Peters, but Peters took the worst of it. Peters and Isaiah Jackson connect on that far side wall. Jackson wearing the A tonight for the Clemson Tigers. South Carolina breaks it up. 14 minutes to go exactly here in period number 1. A scoreless hockey game. Now the Gamecocks bring it to the backhand. Owen Powderly couldn't tuck it in. Badger struggles to regain his net. Grade A chance there by Ian Powderly, and he couldn't turn it over to the backhand and tuck it home. At the blue line, trying to be kept in by Luke Rudman, and he couldn't do it. Clemson bringing it back in now. Nick Baltus down low. He scored a couple of goals in the last 2 meetings for these teams. Baltus crashes into Zach Lynch. Zach Lynch makes the stop, and the puck drifts all the way back out towards the center ice faceoff dot. Redirected in, Duncan Hickman for South Carolina. Chop pass too far up in the air for the stick of Zach Weeks. Weeks still looking for his first point here with South Carolina. Weeks missing a few games with a concussion earlier on in the season. Gamecocks no strangers to concussions. Jake Tenji missing quite a bit of action last season with some. As the Gamecocks have a chance again in the offensive zone. Tyler Oakley can't keep it in. Dropping back, and Gamecocks will have to regroup at center ice. Dropping back is Avery Pruden to handle this one from his own defensive zone. Pruden's shot goes off a skate. He tried to get it out of the zone, but Clemson shut that one down right at the blue line. Bouncing puck escapes Avery Pruden. He's got one man on him with some speed. Andrew Butterfield, the four-checking player for Clemson. Again, another regroup at center ice and another dump in for the Tigers. Avery Pruden in for South Carolina. Can't hang on to the puck. Backhanded out by Dillon Jacob. Jacob did not play in last night's game against Charlotte. He gets the go-ahead tonight. Corey Hawkinson in Clemson territory. He's got 4 Tigers draped all over him. A big sprawling save there by Jake Badger. Turning shot, Hawkinson hit the goalpost. Corey Hawkinson stayed with the play, and he just barely could not tuck that puck home. He beat Badger, but he couldn't beat the goalpost. Pruden reverses. Tempo, not an issue early on in this hockey game. 12 to go here in period number 1. 10 shots for the Gamecocks, just 2 for Clemson. Tigers trying to take a breath here and compose themselves. shovel it out on the backhand against that yellow dasher. Corey Hawkinson hits one man, and puck goes in behind their net. And 6'3" Brian Sohr, native of Yonkers, New York, takes it behind his own net. Sohr has some trouble here by the Clemson forecheckers. Along that wall, shoveled back out to the point, too far for the stick of defenseman Jack Webster. Webster's going to regroup it in his own zone. Redirected in to the stick of Brian Sohr, and taken away one more time. Cole Maurer. Maurer brings it ahead. The Gamecock defender Hoey. Maurer lost his footing. Zach Lynch covers the puck up, and finally a breather here with 11:22 to go in the first period. And the Gamecocks feeling the positive impact of having Brian Sohr back.
Yes, Dillon. This is a very fun game to watch. Very fast pace, very minimal stoppage. And let's see if one of these teams can put it in the net real soon.
Of course, the most fun games to watch are the ones where we can't get audio coverage for you. And a big hit in front of the South Carolina bench. More collisions in front of the penalty box as Brian Sohr drops back to pick things up. Sohr, wrister intercepted at the blue line. Gamecocks have to fight for that puck. Cam Meka gets it back, but only briefly. Back out of the line. Nick Balta shovels it back in and back out off the dasher there. As Cam Meka takes a big hit. A collision there. Cam Meka and someone wearing number 7. That is unfortunately someone we don't have a roster for. As we said, stats difficult to come by here in the American College Hockey Association. We'll try to figure that out here in the intermissions. 10:43 to go, a scoreless hockey game as this puck drifts back in behind Zach Lynch for another face-off. More line changes for head coach Alan Surwa. A breather for Matt Loughran's Clemson Tigers.
Jacob Tenji being able to play is a huge confidence boost and on-the-ice boost for the Gamecocks. He's doing great stuff in the defensive end and in the neutral zone to set up good quality looks deep in the zone.
Two-way players leading both of these teams. Tenji, the great two-way player for the Gamecocks, and a chance in front for Ben Smith. He's bumped off the puck. On the other side of things, Jacob Vanderleest leading the Clemson Tigers, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. Matt Loughran said he is their greatest offensive asset, but greatest defensive forward as well. Clemson in the offensive zone. They can't hold it there for much longer. Another big hit right in front of our broadcast area here. As I said, down at ice level. Now a chance for Clemson right in front of the goal. Tackled down pretty much there by Nick Peters. Peters coming in like a wrecking ball. Zach Lynch able to cover the puck, and with 10:09 to go here in period number 1, yet another stoppage in play. I didn't even see, where did Nick Peters come from?
I don't know, Dylan, but fast-paced game, big hit game, a lot of shot games so far. It's been a real joy to watch.
Nick Peters seeing increased minutes in last night's game. We'll see a couple of them knocked off tonight. Gamecocks roll with 3 defensive pairings with Blake Drummond, the lone man, 7th defenseman rotating in for them. ACHA, one of the few times you can dress 12 forwards and 7 defensemen. Of course, as I said earlier, Alan Surwa electing not to dress a full roster in order to, in an effort to inspire some of his players. Matthew Mancini banks it off the boards for Clemson. The Gamecocks regain control at center ice. It's shoveled back in. Mancini's going to leave it for his goaltender. Badger comes out, shovels one up to center ice. Batted back in by the Gamecocks. They're going to have to touch up. And they do. Ronan Egan in hard on that play. It's held in at the line, drifting back down below the goal line. In behind Badger's net. Clemson. Difficulty breaking it out. That puck just barely bounced past the Gamecock defender, Peters. Peters goes down to the ice. Clemson regrouping once again. Vanderleest getting it up. Vanderleest breaking the puck out himself. In over the line. It's Vanderleest swinging out wide. Shoots one. Save made by Lynch. The rebound just past the stick there of Adam Montag. Montag, a beautiful chance there. The pad of Zach Lynch kicked out the Vanderleest shot. And a pretty chance there for Adam Montag. 8:54 to go in period number 1. Still looking for that first goal, but the way the pace is gone, you got to think it's coming soon. Shoveled into the netting, in behind Badgers' goal by Evan Hoey. Another stoppage here, just a few ticks under 8 to go in the period. Evan Hoey battling a shoulder injury, as we made mention last night. Hoey, he said, essentially just putting off surgery at this point, but as long as he can play, he's happy. You got to think, how many guys on this roster are battling through injuries at all times.
Yeah, it's for the love of the game, Dylan. These guys come out on the ice, practice almost every day. They love to play hockey. He takes a hit there to the face.
Yeah, Evan Hoey's clearing attempt from his own zone, caught one of the Tigers up high. The Gamecocks get it back, though, and they'll try to work things out. Blake Drummond on the ice for the first time. Nick Pizzo shoots one, that one blocked. In the near side circle. Gamecocks control below the goal line. Centering pass shoots one, Badger save made, rebound, it goes in! Gamecocks on the board first. 1-0, hard to see who the goal scorer was right there. Luke Rudman makes it 1-0 for South Carolina here about halfway through the first period.
That was some great pressure the Gamecocks just put on the Tigers in their own zone. You know, Tigers are having trouble all night to get the puck out of the zone, and Gamecocks finally capitalized on one of the blunders that the Tigers had deep in their own zone.
Suffocating offensive presence here by the Gamecocks finally pays off. Luke Rudman gets his 4th goal of the season. And you got to think Nick Pizzo's feeling pretty good. Only 2 points going into this game. Excuse me, only 1 point going into this game, and it was an assist. Should he be credited with the assist now on this goal, he will have doubled his points total. In the neutral zone here, Tyler Oakley squirts past one of the Clemson defenders. Bumped off there by Baltus. Tyler Oakley still got it. A defenseman pinching in for South Carolina. Avery Pruden stands guard at the near side point. Gamecocks pressuring heavily still. In the slot, Dake Tenji knocked down, trying to play the puck from his stomach, and he still does. Now a chance right in front. Oh, and on the backhand, they couldn't tuck it home. Curling now, Cam, make a shot. Badger sprawled out. He makes the save, throwing a leg up into the air, using everything except the kitchen sink to make that save. Jake Badger channeling his inner Dominic Hasek there, getting his feet towards the ceiling to deny Cam Mecca of a grade A opportunity.
We were talking to Coach Lochran earlier. He's saying that Jacob Badger has been really solid for them in net all season, and you know that was a great display of his goalie skill in the crease right there, getting on the ground.
Jake Badger not afraid to use his athleticism in order to win his team a game. Hoey shoots one from the point, knocked down in front. Ben Smith and Ian Powderly combined there as a shot from Ben Smith goes off. Probably the mask of Jake Badger there. Maybe the mask, maybe the goalpost a little bit too. But either way, ends up out of play. 7:28 to go here in period number 1 as Luke Rudman recently giving the Gamecocks the lead. Offensive zone face-off here. Corey Hawkinson skating with Ben Smith and Ian Powderly tonight. One of the variations of the Gamecock power plays we saw last night. 0 for 3. One of the many dark spots last night for the Gamecocks. Should a penalty come around, they'll try to up their numbers tonight. A chance in front for Powderly, still loose. More Gamecocks crashing the crease. And now a penalty finally called. Official looking to take someone off for an interference call. Trying to see who the guilty party is. The players try to sort it out amongst themselves. 7:10 to go here in the first period. The official skating over the penalty box, but no players so far. And it will be, yes, for Clemson. Christian Suda, their captain, going to sit for a pair. Interference. Gamecocks will go to their first power play. Interested to see who Alan Serwa puts out here.
And as you just said, not a few seconds ago, the Gamecocks were 0-3 last night on their power play, which, you know, if they connected maybe once, twice, or all 3 times on the power play, that would be a whole different game. And let's see if they can get back on the ice today with new confidence and put one in with the man up.
A clean slate for the Gamecocks. They've got 1 goal to add to their confidence right now. Nick Peters at the point. He's out there with Ian Powderly, Corey Hawkinson, Ben Smith, and Brian Soar at the blue line for the Gamecocks. Chance in front. Badger sprawling out again. They couldn't tuck it home. Ben Smith on the puck now. He couldn't get to it. The Clemson Tigers will throw this one all the way back down. Nick Peters on this puck. The Gamecocks will break it out again. Corey Hawkinson swings from behind his own goal. Bouncing puck, having a little bit of difficulty settling it down. As we approach the 6.5 minute mark, Corey Hawkinson spins away from a check of Isaiah Jackson. Hawkinson kicks the puck up to his stick in the offensive zone now. On the power play, Hawkinson swings it below the goal line. Off the boards, picked up by Soar. Soar walks, throws one into the corner, picked up by Ben Smith. Smith can't hang on to it. All 3 Gamecocks below the goal line. The Tigers hammer that one out emphatically along the boards. Zach Lynch tries to handle it. He poked the stick out there a little bit, couldn't get a clean handle on the puck. And Brian Soar's going to have to evade the forecheck there from Jacob Vanderleest. On the breakout again, Jake Tenji, new power play man out for the Gamecocks. Tenji flips it over to Mecca. Cam Mecca cutting in, shoots one, he scores! Cam Mecca rips one from 20 feet. The Gamecocks score on the power play. It's 2-0 South Carolina.
And that was a pretty play there, Dillon. They were pressured back in their own corner after the dump in, but a few quick passes. Mecca did a really good job at swerving through the defense on that, creating a shot on Jacob Badger's glove side.
Cam Mecca, a left-hand shot skating down his off wing on that right side. Cutting in, Skating left, shooting right, they say. Right, I couldn't tell if it was over or under the glove of Jacob Badger. And in case you can't tell, it's gotten absolutely quiet here. I am the only one talking right now. Gamecocks in an unfriendly land right now, and they've got a 2-0 lead. 1-for-1 on the power play tonight. Johnny mentioned how important power play goals can be in a game. 16 shots right now in the first period of South Carolina. 2-on-1 for Clemson. Chance there, and the back checking by South Carolina, able to negate that opportunity. Bobby Van Duzen tries to escort that puck out of his own zone. Negated there by the unnamed number 7 for Clemson. We'll try to figure out who that is in the intermission. Zach Lynch makes a save off a shot from about 40 feet out. He'll smother that puck with 5.5 to go here in period number 1. The goal by Cam Mecca makes this thing a 2-0 game for South Carolina. Jake Tenji getting the assists on that one. And as soon as we get word from the penalty box, we'll get you the other assist. Brandon Alter on man in the penalty box right now. They're going to give the official assist goes to Tyler Oakley. Jake Tenji doesn't get an assist for that one. We'll have to revisit that in a moment. I thought it came off of Jake Tenji's stick, but regardless, the Gamecocks will have to defend now in their own zone. Blake Drummond, the 7th defenseman, rotating in now, and a 2-on-1 the other way for South Carolina. Zach Weeks shoots one, save made by Badger straight on. Right off that tiger paw print on the center of his chest. He'll cover this puck up for a face-off. 5:09 to go here in period number 1. Face-off will come to Badger's left.
Yeah, I believe Tenji gave Mecca that pass right before he scored, so we'll revisit that in the intermission and see if Tenji gets the assist for that.
If we could broadcast the games and be the scorekeepers at the same time, we would absolutely do it. But one thing at a time. Offensive zone face-off for the Gamecocks lost. Tigers shovel that one out. Matt Mancini quarterbacking many things on the back end for Clemson. Now Duncan Hickman, a shot from the slot. Save made, rebound pops wide after to Zach Weeks. Zach Weeks can't get to the puck. Ronan Egan in after. Behind the goal, Vanderleest breaks it out for Clemson. Shoveling that one up ahead. Past the stick of Zach Weeks of South Carolina. Intercepted passes in the slot. Hickman, run hard into the boards, right in front of some Clemson fans. Hickman's slow to get back up, but he seems to be okay. Duncan Hickman, team president out of Salt Lake City, Utah. One of the farthest from home tonight in this rink. Now one of the Tigers dragged practically by Ben Smith over the goal line. An intercepted pass in the defensive zone by South Carolina. Bad turnovers led to the first goal last night against Charlotte. Gamecocks paid dearly for that one. This time they get a free pass. Clemson does not make them pay. Egan run into the boards hard, about 5 feet from my face. Into the slot.
About 3 from mine.
Dangerous down here at ice level, but there is no place we'd rather. Into the glass, into the boards behind Zach Lynch. Blake Drummond can't get to the puck. Clemson holds it into South Carolina zone. A long shot there from the point. About as close to the blue line as you can get without being offsides. That time, Joe Halsey, the man firing the puck. Zach Lynch will make the save. And 3:53 to go here in period number 1.
And as you've heard, the glass rattle a little bit. Big hits coming from Clemson's end. Maybe that this big physical play will revamp their team and their lines and get the puck through the crease to the back of the net real soon.
Absolutely, a chance through the slot there. Clemson not having the momentum. They're trying to change that with the physicality here. Joe Halsey, 19 penalty minutes. He's tied for the team league with Jack Morrissey. Jack Morrissey, the only senior. Joe Halsey out here now. Still, that puck goes in behind the Clemson goaltender. Gamecocks try to bring it in front. Chance through the net. It goes in! Luke Rudman tucks it on the backhand. His second goal of the night. Brian Soar was standing in front of us. We couldn't see it. But right on the backhand, that's Gator Rudman, as he's known to his teammates. His second goal of the night. South Carolina 3, Clemson 2.
That was real
Clemson
pretty.
Nothing. My apologies.
Rudman put that in. He was holding the puck behind the net for a couple seconds, drawing it up. He knew exactly what he was doing. Came around the front, tucked in backhand under his glove this time, not over like the last goal, but Gamecocks now up 3-0 on the Clemson Tigers.
And it looks like that'll be the end of the night here for Jacob Badger. Pulled after 3 goals on 19 shots in the first period. Entering the game now, Tony Sandblom. Tony Sandblom, 0-1 so far this season, getting really his second taste of action here. 3 goals against average, but a .925 save percentage. He lost his one start, but an excessive amount of shots. And that's why he's able to have a .925 save percentage. Clemson from their own zone in front of a brand new goaltender. And now a chance in front. Gamecocks shoot one. He scores! First shot on the new goaltender. Looks like Ben Smith tucks it home. The Gamecocks lead 4-0 with 3:08 to go here in period number 1. And that is about as good of a start you can get against a new goaltender.
Yes, Gamecocks are getting a lot of good chances right now. Once the Tigers get the puck back in their own zone, Gamecocks aren't falling back to play defense. They're heavy on the forecheck, and that was seen right there. Ben Smith got the puck back deep, went short side, and put the Gamecocks up 4-0.
A timeout being called here. I didn't see who exactly signaled for it, but gotta infer that it was the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, Matt Loughran, trying to get his guys settled down, trying to get them refocused. Matt Loughran extremely animated on the Clemson bench right now. Alan Serwa having a discussion with the officials. Alan Serwa, we had a chance to talk to him before the game. Serwa doing a bit of officiating himself in his off days, doing some B League officiating, or beer league, whichever one.
I'm sure he did a little bit of that.
Yeah, Serwa, an employee of Budweiser. That is true. I didn't make that up. He drives the Budweiser van to and from the rink, to and from the Plex for practices and games. Alan Serwa, back to the game now, getting back into the discussion with more of his players.
We were talking with Coach Loughran earlier in the game. He was saying that their big thing is finishing possessions and putting the puck in the back of the net, making that extra pass, getting it on the tape for a good look. And Clemson's had it in the zone a couple times, had a couple nice passes, but they're still having the same fault that they've been all season, and they're not able to finish possessions, giving the Gamecocks the puck pretty easily in their own zone.
Plays not quite developing as the Tigers hope they would. As we come back out here for a center ice face-off off the goal. Ronan Egan will flank centerman Zach Weeks. And then another face-off one there, Blake Drummond, the recipient of that one face-off for South Carolina. He plays it off the boards. Clemson has it. They'll throw it back in. Lofted back up by Evan Hoey. That one gloved down and brought back the other way by Cunningham. Cunningham pushes it in. Hoey wraps it around the boards in towards the near side zone, and a whistle and an interference call. Interference called here against Clemson.
Let's see who he books.
Paul Cunningham. Cunningham's going to sit for a pair. And I don't know exactly what Matt Loughran said, but I got to imagine that taking a 2-minute interference penalty was not it.
Especially with 2:50 left in the period, though, and the Gamecocks are going to basically finish the period up a man, unless they put the puck in the net earlier, which they did pretty early on their last man advantage. So let's see if they can do the same thing.
Serwa taps the unit that scored the goal. Tenji with Mecca and in front of the net. Looking like, hard to see who that is, but Nick Peters has it now at the point. Peters shoots one, tipped in front, almost there. Cam Mecca, back for Peters. It's Van Duzen in front of that. Peters shoots one, misses everything and catches the boards. Soar pinches in. Soar gloves that puck down to his stick, throws one. That one sticked all the way up into the mesh by Tony Sandblom. Sandblom registering his first save of the night after letting up a goal on his first shot. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of how many goals you let up on how many shots, it's nice to get that first save out of the way.
Yeah, Dillon, it's a real morale booster, as they call it.
Chance for Sandblom to clear his head here. Brian Soar controls, moves to the center point now, dishes it down low for Mecca. Mecca below the goal line. Tenji tries to stuff one, loose in front. Now it's Bobby Van Duzen with Tenji in the slot. Soar at the point, far side for Van Duzen, wristing one, stop made, rebound. Couldn't be tucked home by Cam Mecca. Mecca taken down. Jake Tenji has it now, along the point. Now it comes to Brian Soar. He doesn't like what he sees. He's going to give it back to Jake Tenji. No, he's going to shoot one. That one save made, rebound. Sandblom made that save as well. Soar hollering for that puck at the center point. Now it tells him to move it to Jake Tenji. And a clearing chance made there, capitalized on by Matt Wilson of Clemson. With 1:40 to go here in the first period, the power play takes down to 48 seconds. Gamecocks will regroup. Fresh troops on Corey Hawkinson among them. Hawkinson, the recipient of that pass, he brings it in. Hawkinson got 4 Tigers all over him. Jacob Vanderlee shovels it out on the backhand, past the official, past the Gamecock bench. And having to regroup now on the breakout will be South Carolina. Spinning away, Ian Powderly gets it to Avery Pruden. And now Ben Smith shoots one from very far out, loose in front. Sandblom made the save, the puck goes in behind the goal. After it, Ben Smith Smith upping the physicality, a pass towards the point, but no one was home. Miscommunication there for South Carolina. Tyler Oakley gonna have to chase it back. Vanderleest gets it though. Short-handed chance, saucer pass into the middle. Backhanded back, oh, and almost redirected in. A nice defensive play there by Avery. Pruden almost ended up in an own goal. Pruden gets it away, and a hand pass called here against, I believe, Clemson. Face-off will come outside the South Carolina zone with 50.7 to go here in the first period. Final second of the penalty to Christian Suda.
Yes, and he is eager to get out of the box. Play being stopped with about 7/10 of a second left on his time, and he'll be out on the ice before I even stop speaking.
If you're Clemson, down 4-0 in the first period, but you build on the small things as stepping out of the box. Now, I'm sorry, Paul Cunningham steps out of the box. You build on the small things. You've killed off a penalty now. You're going to get a chance to clear your head in the intermission. And as things heat up here, final 30 to go. Along the near side, Clemson trying to break things in. They shoot that one off the glass, off the netting as well. Another stoppage of play. Just a few ticks over 30 seconds to go here. And 25 shots so far in this first period for South Carolina. On pace for 75 shots. Should they keep up this pace? Not a bad first period.
Not at all. Very fun to watch.
Blake Drummond throws it off the dasher in his defensive zone. Drummond's gonna get it again. And in the face-off dot, Zach Weeks brings it over for South Carolina. Shoots one, that one in and out of the glove of Sandblom. Zach Weeks following his shot, as I tell you so often in youth hockey. Can't get that puck back though. Vanderleest has it taken away by Zach Weeks. And now in Clemson territory, the play whistled down. Face-off will be indicated outside with 8.3 to go. One of the officials more confident in the call than some of the others. Nobody really knowing why the faceoff came outside. Perhaps offside. We'll see.
Creating and putting up shots for these Tigers has been a real problem all season. Last game against UCF, they were outshot 40-26 all game. Already down 26-8 now. So let's see if they can come out. They can come out in the next period, second and third period, put more shots up, maybe even get more than the Gamecocks, and give them a little booster. And maybe find the back of the net in some of them.
As you heard that final buzzer sound to signify the end of the first period, Gamecocks lead 4-0, shots 26-8. We're gonna take a brief break here on the Capital City Sports Network, and when we come back, Johnny and I will bring you the first intermission report here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV.
They were up in the zone, made a lot of pretty passes, didn't give up on their missed shots, followed them to the boards, and finally connected on one. Now they're up 5-0 here in the early start of period 2. About 3 minutes down.
We'll have to wait for the official ruling to see if that was a power play goal or not. It was unclear if the Clemson player had stepped back on the ice.
I believe he did.
You believe he did? Well, then it should be an even strength goal. We'll wait to see what the official scorer has to say about that, however. The center ice face-off after the goal. 28 shots for South Carolina, 8 for the home Clemson Tigers. Tiger fans trying to get their team back into it. Doing anything they can at this point, just as South Carolina fans do back at the Plex in Irma. Off the boards in South Carolina territory. Swinging back to get this one, pressure felt by Cole Manor. And now Ronan Egan will try to get off the boards. A point shot goes just wide of the skate of Zach Lynch, trying to get a stick on it. Nick Peters bounces one off the dasher in behind his goaltender. Drummond throws that one off the boards, can't get it to Ronan Egan. Tigers have to touch up before they can get this puck though. Drummond comes up with it. Over the line, Drummond swats at it. Gamecocks have to touch up. Drummond's offside, he's got to get back. Who's going to fill in for his point side? Dillon Jacob dropped back to take over Blake Drummond's position. Did not matter though. Icing blown down here with 16:23 to go. The faceoff will come all the way back down and to the left of Jacob Badger, who just recently let up his fourth goal of the game, the Tigers' fifth.
Right now, the Tigers don't look like they're completing passes, which, as we've mentioned before, has been a really big part of their troubles this season. It's not completing passes.
Absolutely. They seem to be second-guessing themselves at every turn. Meanwhile, that puck brought ahead. Cole Manor makes a nice move to the outside. He shoots one, and that one kicked into the corner by Zach Lynch. A beautiful move. Cole Manor undressing one of the Gamecock defenders. Able to beat everybody except Zach Lynch. Hickman got to lunge into the slot to get that puck away. Dillon Jacob has it now. Jacob drops back. And and that puck hit one of the skates. Some confusion there as to who was going to play that puck. It's slugged down in South Carolina territory. Comes back down to Nick Peters. A dangerous pass through his own slot. Comes up now, and a stick lift by Ronan Egan. Egan's going to have a chance here breaking towards a goal. And it's just as quickly snuffed out there by the Clemson defenders. And from center ice here, taking sticks and swats from players alike. Far side chance upstairs over the glove there. The shot coming off Paul Cunningham's stick. Now a chance in the slot. Shoots one. Save made by Zach Lynch. Another opportunity smothered for a face-off. John McKeon, the shooter that time, and a gloveless Zach Lynch flips that puck to the official.
See fresh lines coming in from both sides, and Clemson on that last end before the whistle was doing really well defensively, getting the puck away from the Gamecocks and creating chances in the neutral zone for their forwards.
Hawkinson's unit on now for South Carolina. The official with some extra instructions here is coming in off the face-off to take this one. Brian Sohr. Sohr can't get clean possession of it. He wheels that one around for Nick Pizzo. Coming ahead now is Luke Rudman. Rudman down the right side. He shoots one, and that one stopped by Jake Badger, held for a face-off. And he's got to pick that puck out from in between his goal pads so he can give it to the ref. 29 shots now for South Carolina. Clemson just cresting double digits now for the first time. They get 10 and 11 shots now. As they try to get something going their way, they try to solve Zach Lynch in this Carolina defense. Hawkinson wins this one forward. He's stymied there in front. Hawkinson gets a stick and an elbow up high, and it will be an elbowing call. And as you heard maybe from that fan, a weak call in the opinion of the Clemson fans and players. Joe Halsey's going to go back to the bench for elbowing, a 2-minute liner. South Carolina's going to go back to the power play. And technically they are 1 for 2 so far. That abbreviated power play, only 8 seconds, I believe, still counts as 1. They're 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. They are 1 for 1 with full life power plays, but they'll look to go 2 for 3 here with this opportunity. And Joe Halsey in the box. Joe Halsey, 19 penalty minutes so far going into this game. He's got at least 2 tonight. So he takes the lead as Clemson's penalty minute leader. Hoey regroups, he sends that puck over to no one. Drummond's going to fill in for him. And now a chance shorthanded, perhaps, for Clemson, but the Gamecocks regain that one. Evan Hoey bringing it up. Hoey, one of the larger Gamecocks. That puck flipped all the way back out to center. Drummond's going to have this one. Drummond, D to D now. Hoey's got it back. Ronan Egan, my apologies. Egan down the right side. Trying to battle for possession now. Big hit there, and Egan's got the puck again. He's taken down there. No call made. Clean play as noted by the official. Wristed all the way back down to the right of Zach Lynch. Hoey's going to get it. He faces pressure here by Jackson. Jackson the forechecker, and Jackson doing everything he can. A chance in front, shorthanded for Clemson. Poked away by Zach Lynch. Shorthanded, energized Clemson Tigers right now. 14-17 to go in the period. Just about a minute to go on the power play for South Carolina. Evan Hoey, stretch pass to Luke Rudman. Rudman ahead, it's picked up by Ian Powderly, fresh from the bench. Powderly tries to stick on him through some defenders without much luck there. Luke Rudman and Powderly team up to have this puck. It's Rudman down low with Powderly all on the boards. Powderly out-muscled for that puck, brought back ahead now by Cole Manor. Manor leaves it, it's going to be McKeon. McKeon's shot, that one kicked out by Zach Lynch. And it comes to the near side now. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Gamecocks trying to get something going here. Puck just too far ahead. I think Pizzo's going to have it in behind the goal. Pizzo and Rudman team up in the corner. Gamecocks bring it out here. Powderly, a flip shot all the way up. Avery Cruz slaps that one off the boards. Pinching in, going to be Tyler Oakley. Oakley narrowly escapes a check. Shoots that one from a bad angle. Quick shot there. Stopped by Jake Badger. More players battle for it in the slide. Will just be poked out towards center ice. Regrouping is Ian Powderly. Penalty time exposed, but Clemson in the midst of a change. Powderly, 3-on-2, stick handles through the defensive wall there for Clemson. But the puck drifts into the corner and back around now. Gamecocks will have to try again. It's Luke Rudman hard on it. Avery Pruden pinching in. That shot rang off the pipe. Chance there for Luke Rudman. And he catches iron here. 12:43 to go. Gamecocks with a 5-0 lead. Wristed back in. Fresh troops now for South Carolina. And Matthew Mancini is going to regroup for Clemson. tempo ebbing and flowing back and forth for both teams here in the second period. Clemson with much better play here than they experienced in the first. Van Duzen now shoots that one off of the skate of Jake Tenji. It pops into the breadbasket of goaltender Jake Badger. And another face-off here, 12:19 to go in period number 2. Gamecocks hitting the 30-shot mark here before the halfway point in the hockey game.
Ever since he was pulled in the first, Badger's been really good at finding the puck through defenders, being screened, and he was making some nice saves with both the blocker and the glove this early start in the period.
Active hands for Jacob Badger. That mental reset seemed to do him some good, but the Carolina onslaught not stopping anytime soon. As Tenji shoots that one, might have been hit by the diving Clemson player. Looks like Alex Schreiber, and another hit. The physicality turning up again. One of the Tigers hit into the Gamecock bench a little bit, wristing one through, now curling and dragging one. That one pushed just wide. Nick Peters, as he is hit. Peters getting rid of the puck now. It comes in front. That play cut off by Jake Tenji. Two-way forward for South Carolina. Gets up to Duncan Hickman. Stretch pass, looking for Mecca. Mecca's got a chance here. He takes it to the backhand, shoots one, taken down on the play. That puck leaves a hand pass to the goaltender. With the glove, they throw that one into Badger's paraphernalia. He's going to cover with 11.5 to go. Mecca taken down, no call. As they're going to say, the defenseman for Clemson got a stick on it, got the puck first. That seems to be the burden of proof here, is if you get the puck first, you're golden.
That was a big defensive play by Matthew Wilson for Clemson, getting back on that. He saw that South Carolina was going to have a clear breakaway, so he skated back as quick as he could. And as Dillon said before, got his stick on the puck real quick before taking him down, which would have been, a 6-0 lead. It's very hard to come back from. So that would have blown the game wide open for these Gamecocks.
Active sticks by the Clemson defenders. There is someone in the box right now for Clemson. Difficult to see exactly who that is. Difficult to see.
They might have got Wilson on a trip.
Wilson on the trip. I don't know. We'll see. No, and that's Christian Suda. Suda in the box. I can barely. Nope, Suda's on the ice. My apologies.
I think that's a 2. I think that's Matthew Wilson. Oh, and
more players in the box now for Clemson. 27. Andrew Butterfield's been booked for 2 minutes. Possibly, most likely, for hauling down Cam Mecca. Not a clean breakaway, though. That's why a penalty, a 2-minute minor being assessed rather than a penalty shot. Had Mecca been in on a clean breakaway, a penalty shot would have been given. Another chance for the Gamecocks to operate here in the power play. Soar drops it off for his defensive partner, Peters. Peters along the boards. In the slot, Powderly tries to work it out. That one kicked out by Jake Badger. Powderly and Hawkinson team up. A quick shot in front, still it's loose. Clemson able to bring it out ahead, and now it's going to be a breakaway the other way. Adam Montag. Montag in on shorthanded. That one stopped by Zach Lynch. A shorthanded breakaway for Montag, and Lynch gets the glove on. Now back the other way comes South Carolina. Off the stick of Powderly. Badger way outside of his net. Peters has it in his skates. He can't hang on to it. Kicked ahead now. Clemson back the other way. Isaiah Jackson, alternate captain for Clemson. He's taken down by Brian Soar. Soar buries his head in his hands. And even he can't believe he took that penalty right now. The Gamecocks negate their own power play just about 40 seconds into it. A 4-on-4. And another light shining through the clouds here for Clemson with 10:54 to go in the period.
And right there on that rush, that was Isaiah Jackson. Great player for Clemson. He likes to find the back of the net, as everyone does, but he wasn't afraid, being a man down. He saw an opportunity to skate through the D, had a lane. It was just blocked by Soar right there.
Jackson and Montag, the two shorthanded chances for Clemson. Montag, really a huge burst of speed that we haven't seen often from anyone really tonight. That puck will pop up into the oddly reflective ceiling.
That is the third one up there, Dillon.
It's a low ceiling, really, by the benches. Really, it's like we're playing in someone's basement over by the benches. Not a knock against the Pavilion or anything. That's just
or people's basements.
Or people's basements. If you want to play hockey in your basement, that is more than okay.
There are a lot of nice basements out there.
Bringing it ahead now. 4-on-4, Luke Rudman. A goal and an assist so far tonight. He'd love to have a third point. Rudman and Pizzo dig away at it for South Carolina. That puck swatted into open territory by Blake Drummond. He's got it now. A frustrated Clemson Tiger slashing his stick into the boards. Jack Webster seems to have had enough. That puck loose in the slot. Drummond pinches. Hickman down low on the goal line for Blake Drummond. Swatted away and kept in the zone by Nick Pizzo. Pizzo on the 4-on-4. Rudman trying to get it, and he can't get a stick on it. Back out, it's South Carolina again. Into the far side corner. Rudman wants Hickman, he's got him. Hickman shoots one right into the glove. Textbook glove stop there by Jake Badger. Flashes the leather, gets a stop here with 10:06 to go in the period.
That was a real good possession for the Gamecocks there. Never letting the puck get out of the zone, really protecting the blue line. And when they got it up there, they dumped it in deep for their forwards to try to make a play. That was just a great save there with the glove of Badger.
Application of pressure, regardless of the score, always key for these Gamecocks. Jake Tenji said that was part of the conversation in the locker room after the first intermission, is keeping their foot on the gas, keeping the pedal down to the floor. And they've done that really here in the second period, as we just passed the halfway point. Along the far side boards, twirling away from a check there, and that one right up into the chest protector of Badger. Dillon Jacob denied what would have been his first goal and first point as a South Carolina Gamecock. Jacob, one of the numerous rookies that the Gamecocks have, and we had a chance to talk to Duncan Hickman about the shot of energy that the youth brings. And when more than half of your team are 18-year-old freshmen, that's really, it gives you wheels.
Yes, and it gives you hope for the future. If they're producing on the ice now when they're 18, 3 years later, senior year, hopefully they can keep the energy and the productivity on the ice and in the locker room. It's a big thing for teams, Dillon, is chemistry on and off the ice.
When you've got a good group like this, if you can keep it together, you want to do it as long as you can. As Vanderleest brings ahead now for Clemson, drop shot, just catches the glass behind Zach Lynch. Vanderleest turned on the Jets now, and a diving play by Zach Lynch. The puck ends up in the back, and then a point shot by Isaiah Jackson. Lynch ended up on his belly somehow, and it's going to be a goal here for Clemson. They get on the board. It's 5-1 South Carolina, but Isaiah Jackson gives his team hope.
And that was great grit right there, shown by the Clemson Tigers. Never giving up on the play, never giving up on the puck. That was a nice shot there by Jackson, the nice follow. Zach Lynch just played the ground, thought the shot was going to be low.
Well, it looked like, the way he reacted, it looked like, I couldn't tell if it was sore. It looked like someone skated through and accidentally knocked one of his skates out from underneath him. I think there was contact made with one of the South Carolina defensemen on that play. That's why Lynch ended up on his stomach. Powderly a chance at the other end, though. Centering pass just would not go. That's how quickly this game flips on its head. Avery Cruden fans on a chance here. He goes D to D. Tyler Oakley will shoot that one in off the stick now. Ian Powderly keeps it through. A nice dipsy doodle there through center. Powderly creating time and space. Gamecocks one of the one-timer. Long shot tipped in front, and again, right into the chest protector of Jacob Badger. He calmly covers that puck up. Badger's found his rhythm here, and it appears that some of his teammates are as well.
Yes, Badger's really seeing the puck well this period, and early on in the period really wasn't getting much help from his forwards and his D-men, but now past the halfway mark at 8:53 left to go in the second, Clemson's got a goal on the board. Let's see if they can help out their goaltender a little better.
Off the boards, Mecca's got it. A loose in front puck, swatted at there by Jake Tenji. Mecca's got it though. Back out center point. Brian Sorrell risked that one in. He wants Van Duzen to go retrieve. Tied up in front is Jake Tenji. He lost his stick. Back the other way again. Maurer. Cole Manor. Manor trying to undress someone. And another penalty called. Things getting heated in front. Cole Manor and Brian Sorrell, both wearing 23. Both arguably the largest members of their respective teams. Brian Sorrell, the largest member of the Gamecocks by far.
They call him the Chief, Dillon.
They call him Chief. And Chief Sorrell headed now to the penalty box. Not the first time Brian Sorrell's mouth has gotten him in trouble, but 19 penalty minutes for Brian Sorrell on the season. He's going to have penalty minute number 20 and 21 to go take a breather here. And another power play for Clemson. And they've gotten one. They're trying to tilt the ice a little bit in the other direction. Let's see if they can do it on their power play here.
Yes, if they can execute this man advantage right now, make the game a 3-goal difference, really boosting team morale.
Gunners out now for Clemson. At the point, Baltus sends it D to D. Back to Baltus now at the center point. Baltus doesn't like what he sees. He goes to Vanderleest now. Vanderleest back to Baltus. Baltus at the center point. With battles in front, Baltus lets one go, goes off a leg. Now in behind the goal, taken down in front, one of the Gamecocks, Hoey. Quickly back to his feet though. Puck in the skates to the referee. Nonchalantly skates away from it. And going down to his knees is Duncan Hickman to play that one. Back out at the point now. Isaiah Jackson, the lone goal scorer for Clemson. Baltus, now Vanderleest. The power play men switching sides here for Clemson. They got a good rotation on. It's Vanderleest. He wants Baltus. Is he going to find him? Check closely there. Now the Gamecocks have it headed the other direction. Luke Redmond narrowly escapes a check there by Isaiah Jackson. As the Gamecock penalty killers head for a line change. Vanderleest collides with Van Duzen. Van Duzen taking a chance here, shorthanded. Rudman trying to get it away, and it's going to be Vanderleest here. If he can get it through, Isaiah Jackson can't settle down a bouncing puck. Throws it in behind the goal. Below the goal line, it will be Tyler Oakley. A skipping puck goes all the way down. Ronan Egan's going to have a chance unless Badger beats him to it. Badger one-on-one with Egan, and Badger played that perfectly. Just gets it away from Ronan Egan, denying Egan a great shorthanded opportunity there. Tigers regroup. In behind the goal, flash of purple and orange now in behind the Gamecock net, taken down on the play there. One of the defensemen, Avery Prudent, and another player taken down for Clemson. This time, Prudent will be called for a trip, and again, down to the ice, Cole Manor. Cole Manor drawing 2 consecutive penalties out of the South Carolina Gamecocks with 19 seconds to go on the penalty to Brian Soar. Looks like Avery Prudent's going to sit down for a pair, and a brief 5-on-3 here for Clemson. And again, the opportunities continue to pile up.
Yeah, so let's see if the Clemson Tigers can make the most of this 19-second 5-on-3, get a couple passes in, get an open side of the net, and execute, and able to get another chance on the what will be a minute 41.
Hawkinson, Pizzo, and Nick Peters, the 3 that Alan Surwa has tapped to kill this brief 5-on-3. Center point now. Webster finds his man Vanderleest. Vanderleest digs it out of his own skates and brings it back to Webster. Webster for Vanderleest yet again. One man out of the box for South Carolina. Brian Soar back on the ice. That puck popped all the way up in the air. Behind the goal, they cycle again. Manor. Cross-ice pass too hot for Vanderleest to handle. Vanderleest walks the line. He's watched closely there by Pizzo. Cross-ice pass, shoots one, save made, in and out of the glove by Lynch. Lynch is out of his net though. Beautiful cross-ice save there by Zach Lynch. More players go down behind the goal. Cole Manor. Clemson settles it down. Vanderleest shoots one, blocked in front by Pizzo. Zach Weeks tries to watch Cole Manor. Manor, a few too many head fakes, and Weeks can't get it out of the zone. He gets it as far as Jack Webster, and the Tigers regroup yet again. Near side circle, just thrown on goal. Lynch never saw it. It's still loose in front. Swatted at, still loose again. And another shot. They score! It's a power play goal for Paul Cunningham, and Clemson draws to within 3.
That was great execution on the bouncing puck there. Clemson Tigers, they never gave up, made those extra passes that Coach Loughran was talking about, how they had trouble and difficulties doing throughout the season, and that was a great display of teamwork there on the man advantage, that nice 5-on-4, and it's a 5-2 game now.
Clemson really showing that they can dictate the pace of the play in that instance anyway. They slow things down to a crawl on the power play, working things around, moving the penalty killers out of position, and it worked in that instance. A brilliant slot shot there from Paul Cunningham, his 4th of the season, and he's got his team to within 3. 5:45 to go here in the second period. A 5-2 hockey game. Gamecocks looking to get momentum back on their side, and the Tigers aren't going to let them do it easily. Bringing it back out now. Picked up by the Gamecocks, a 3-on-2. Back-checking Tigers negate that one. Throw it in. Cam Mecca's got it now. Into the corner he goes. Throws it around for his center. Thrown in front by Jake Tenji. Tyler Oakley's going to risk that from a bad angle. Oakley pinching in. Filling in at his point will be Cam Mecca. Puck popped around in the slot. Bobby Van Duzen after for South Carolina. Van Duzen lets it go for Tenji. Tenji in for Van Duzen, and Mecca trying to combine on that one. That one wouldn't go. Held in, swatted back down below for Cam Mecca. He can't get to it. Floated all the way out, past the stick of Jake Tenji. Blake Drummond throws it off the boards. Gamecocks will throw that one back in. An near collision by teammates here at Clemson. Mecca throws it in front, a jam play, loose in front. Jake Tenji and Bobby Van Duzen right in front. He couldn't convert on that one. Drummond uses his skates to keep it in. Corey Hawkinson shoots one, and that one stopped again. Into that Tiger paw print by Jacob Badger.
Badger's been getting hit a lot there in the chest. He's able to see the puck a little clearer this period, and he's getting some help from his forwards on the forecheck, putting 2 in the last 4 minutes of play.
The back pressure of Clemson really not allowing South Carolina those zone entry drop passes that they sometimes like to exercise. And a bit of a high stick there. Duncan Hickman touches it up, yes sir. Hickman touches the puck that was high stick by Corey Hogginson. Hickman less than satisfied with that, but the face-off will come in South Carolina territory. 4.5 to go here. Clemson creeping up towards the 20-shot mark. Gamecocks with 37. Always got to keep it on. It's nice when we have a shot clock that we can actually see. We can keep you up to date on those. Zuna for the point. Nice shot kicked out there by Zach Lynch. Baltus with a bomb. And Baltus drops back now on defense. Hawkinson tries to bring it up for South Carolina. The Tigers step through. Puck left behind there and moved ahead by Adam Montag. Montag and Vanderleest now in the corner. Hand pass called. A bit of a cheeky swat there by Vanderleest, trying to get away with the hand pass. Not going to let South Carolina get away with it. They won't let Clemson get away with it either.
And Clemson fans right now are trying to get or keep the momentum for these Tigers. You know, slapping on the glass, calling their names. I'm sure they see each other on campus sometimes.
Some friends out there on the ice and some friends in the stands here for the men in white, orange, and purple. As I said earlier, the Gamecocks usually wearing red at home. There's a big hit there by Corey Hogginson on the near side. They wearing red on the road tonight. Garnet, I should say, to be more specific. As again, they await the arrival of those new white uniforms that I mentioned last night. And believe me when I say they are nice. Defensive zone play here for South Carolina. Chance in front now for Vanderleest. 3:45 to go. A shot from the point there. Baltus let that one go. It never got to the goal. Zach Lynch slides back to his post. A big save. Still loose. Lynch goes down to his backside. The puck behind the goal. Lynch able to load everything up on that post and lost his balance, but fortunately the puck able to stay out of the goal.
For a second there, I thought that Montag made it a 2-point game.
The next goal, and the next goal is always huge, regardless of the score, but the next goal is essential. If the Gamecocks score to make it a 6-2 hockey game, that'll possibly put it out of reach, barring any miracles. But if the Tigers get it, they make it a 5-3 game. 2-goal games are extremely dangerous to play when you are the team with the lead. You got a false sense of security, and the Gamecocks had a 5-0 lead. Maybe taking their foot off the gas a little bit here, allowing the Clemson Tigers to make it 5-2. Meanwhile, this puck evades the stick of Joe Halsey. He's watched closely by Ronan Egan. Halsey's going to take it behind his own goal. Take that one off the boards. Hoey can't cleanly play it. He gets stepped around now, and as Chris Rivero shoots one into the glove of Lynch. Knocked down in front. Rivero again from a bad angle. Puck all the way up in the air. Gamecock defenders trying to swat at it. They can't get it. Chance for Clemson. They're getting closer and closer. Dillon Jacob with it now. Up ahead. Blake Drummond's going to shoot it in and try to get back on defense now. Right ahead now. Joe Halsey swings it out to the far side. Pulls up at the top of the circle. Lets one go. Just past the stick of Zach Lynch. More players come together in the corner as we approach 2.5 to go. Evan Hoey's without a stick. He puts his hands up in the air. We got a whistle and a call. Hoey lost his helmet, and due to safety concerns, you got a stoppage in play. The officials don't want Evan Hoey to get whacked in the face.
Now, with 2:36 left in the second, the Clemson Tigers have put up double the shots that they have put up in the first. They finished the first with 8, now have 24. And let's see if they can draw a little closer to those Gamecocks 37 before the end of the period.
Offensive zone face-off for the Tigers. It shoots out to the side and picked up in the slot by Luke Rudman. Rudman pushes it ahead for Cam Mecca. Mecca backhands one all the way out his back. Loose puck off the crossbar. Oh, a huge gamble by Jake Badger. Mecca slides it into the slot there for Bobby Van Duzen. And Van Duzen clanks one off the bar, and Jake Badger thanking the hockey gods or whatever higher power for that break there. Always nice when your friend in red is standing behind you. Those goalposts, every goalie's best friend. 2:26 in the period. I think one of the officials just covered up the camera with his hand. He's a character. Bobby Van Dusen falls down now. The puck goes in behind the goal. Picked up by Cam Mecca. Mecca all over the ice tonight for South Carolina, as he has been for seemingly every game this season. Back at the far point in front of Alan Serwa's bench. Gamecocks move it back down low. Vanderleest has it. Tries to stick it away from Luke Rudman there. And Avery Cruden hit right in front there. Isaiah Jackson got his bucket readjusted. Into the corner now of South Carolina territory. Back out now. Point shot goes off no one. Vanderleest tries to backhand it back in front. Swatted away by Brian Sword. Another shot goes off a leg. This time coming off the stick of Clemson captain Christian Schuda. Turning shot by Vanderleest. Turned away by Zach Lynch. Rebound goes into the corner. Montague. Montague shot stopped in front. It's going to be a chance the other way for South Carolina. Tyler Oakley liked what he saw, but he liked the line change even more, so he's going to go to the bench. Loose it comes, held in by Nick Peters. Peters wrists it in below, and a full-on unit change able to be had here by South Carolina. We approach the final minute of period number 2. South Carolina 5, Clemson 2. Chance by Hawkinson trying to make it 6. Hawkinson out-muscled there by Cameron Lamont. Lamont and Hawkinson. Hawkinson now tries to move it. Coming in now is Luke Rudman to offer assistance. Rudman able to get it 3. And Rudman tries to turn to the backhand and stuff it. It pops. Bit of an odd pop there up into the chest of Jacob Badger. He holds for another face-off with 52.5 to go in the second period.
A lot of good chances for both these teams in the past 2 minutes of play. You know, it's imperative to finish possessions and find the back of the net on that nice pass. And the nice passes are coming, they're connecting, but the shots aren't. As you heard, the crossbar dink about a minute ago, and a couple nice saves from both keepers.
8 shots in the first period for Clemson. 17 now here in the 7th period. A switch has obviously been flipped, and now bringing ahead Baltus. He's going to get a trip from Duncan Hickman. Duncan Hickman going to say he never touched him. And it honestly, Cole Manor, my apologies, that's going to be the 3rd penalty that Cole Manor has drawn in the 2nd period alone. Duncan Hickman swatted out with his stick. And for fear of looking biased here, I'm going to side with Duncan Hickman on that. It looked like he just reached out with the stick, and Baltus caught a bad patch. Cole Manor caught a bad patch of ice there and ends up on his stomach. Either way, Duncan Hickman finds himself in the penalty box, regardless of his guilt or not. 42.4, it's going to be an abbreviated power play here for Clemson. They're going to start with Adam Montague taking the face-off here with Nick Baltus right behind him. Nice defensive play there by Blake Drummond. He's really stepped up his play here in the 2nd period. Van Dusen looking for a short-handed chance. Bowls over the goaltender. Van Dusen, along with Tony McKeon, colliding with the Clemson goaltender here. As Clemson brings it back ahead, it's Baltus swinging it out wide. Centering pass, he scores! Montague on the center ice pass, buries it for his 5th goal of the night. 5th goal of the season. And the Tigers draw within 2. It's a 5-3 hockey game here. A power play goal with 21 seconds to go here in the 2nd period.
That was a very pretty execution on what looked to be a 4-on-2. I might be mistaken to be a 4-on-3 rush brought on by the Clemson Tigers. You know, brought around the back of the net, a nice center pass to Montague. Really found a nice opportunity there, and it was imperative for them to score on this power play, and they did. Draw within 2 at the close of the 2nd period. And a little puck roll going on, center ice for the face-off.
Gamecocks got to be holding their sticks just a little more tightly here on this center ice face-off. They've seen their 5-goal lead all but evaporate as they dump this one in. Chopped that nicely there by a Gamecock defender. Bringing ahead is Powderly here with 13 to go. Ian Powderly showing a brief chance, and now back the other way. It's going to be Matt Wilson. Wilson, the long shot, kicked out by Zach Lynch. The rebound comes out into the slot, and now still it's loose. Clemson owning the momentum right now. The clock hits zeros, and fortunately for Zach Lynch, he escapes the period with only 3 goals against. We're going to head to a break here, and when we come back, we're going to try to have a brief discussion with Jake Tenji during this 2nd intermission. The score stands at South Carolina 5, Clemson 3, as we head into this 2nd intermission here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. Welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network. I'm here at the Intermission Report with Captain Jake Tenji. Jake, a 5-0 lead going into the first intermission, now only a 2-goal lead here in the second period. What was the difference there in that second? How were they allowed to come all the way back?
I mean, we took a lot of penalties that we shouldn't have. I mean, some penalties happen, like trips on breakaways and stuff, but when we get guys, not naming names, I've done it too, we get guys hitting players after the whistle, in between whistles, when they don't have the puck. And stupid penalties like that, and then not being able to kill on them, getting a little lost and stuff like that. Just little mistakes that they capitalized on. They capitalized 3 times easily. That one of the last ones. I think they had a guy out back door who was coming in, and I don't even think we saw a guy in a jersey within 20 feet of him. So he finished no problem. And again, just little mistakes. They've capitalized on each one. So they're playing well. They're playing pretty good, and we just dropped our game a little bit there in the second period and let down our guard. So.
What's the main focus going to be here coming out for this third period? It's a much different game than it was 20 minutes ago. What's the main focus going to be?
I would say come out hitting, come out strong, come out hitting, tell them. I mean, we're up by 2 goals, so we are defending the lead, not playing from behind, which is always nice. I mean, what mentality, though, that I think we want going into this game is that we're down by 2, because I think if we carry that in, we're going to bring some good energy. Otherwise, they get a quick one. It's a 1-goal game that changes the momentum for both sides of the game. And for us right now, we definitely need a momentum kick, whether it be not letting them score anymore for a whole period, getting one, doesn't matter. Keep it out of our zone and keep it going. Neutral zone, small here, but in between neutral zone and their ice, end of the ice, we good to go.
We saw some great power play work. You guys struggled last night. 0 for 3 on the power play last night. You get a power play goal early on. Could that be the boost that you guys are looking for here in that third period? Some more solid power play work?
Definitely, I'd say this team, Clemson's definitely given us a few opportunities. That like us, they've taken some dumb penalties. Theirs were more in the first. And again, like when they take them, we have 2 good units. We've been a little off in the past, and it's always what's clicking that night. Right now, it seems, especially like this small neutral zone here, you get a bigger zone in zone to play with. So a lot more room to move the puck. I think that helps us out a lot, and it lets us spread out up top, especially. So I think, move the puck quick, get them tired, keep hitting them, wear them down. Because again, we're up by 2 goals. So with that power play, if we're lucky enough to get another one, I hope we do. But we're staying out of the box. If we're lucky enough to get another power play, it'd be huge to capitalize on it. Main thing though is you can't let any up. Honestly, capitalizing is the least of our worries now. It's nice, least of our worries though.
Thanks, Jake. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks.
That's Gamecock captain Jake Tenji, and when we come back, we'll bring you the third period here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back for the third period here on the Capital City Sports Network. A false face-off drop as the officials have some difficulty with the face-off. Ben Smith doesn't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on either, Ben. Smith outside of Corey Hawkinson for the face-off. 5-3 hockey game here to start the third period. Clemson with a huge second period. Ian Powderly and Corey Hawkinson combined. They bring it back in the other direction. In front, it comes all the way through the slot. Brian Soar over for Evan Hoey. Hoey gets tangled up with himself. A tripping call on Evan Hoey for tripping himself. No, not really. In the slot now. Cam Mecca tries to go around one of the Clemson defenders. Ian Powderly, rather. That puck lofted out. And into the zone now comes Clemson. A long shot save made by Zach Lynch, his first test of the period. Another chance in front. A secondary opportunity wouldn't go through. Cole Manor draws 3 penalties in the second period for his team. They convert on all 3 power plays. If we didn't mention that before, we're mentioning it now. All 3 goals scored by Clemson have come on the power play. Heard Jake Tenji talk about the need to not take penalties and stay out of the box. Becomes ever more important here in this third period. Able to keep the puck in only briefly there, Nick Peters. Peters gonna have to drop back. Baltus shoots that one off the glass, and it skips up again into the netting. Stoppage of play here, just over 2 minutes, just over a minute into period number 3. And again, the tempo, fast-paced to come out to start this third period.
Yes, I had a chance to talk to Coach Locker in between the periods, and I asked him if he had said anything in that first intermission to help the Clemson Tigers, put 3 on the board. He said, start slow, make the plays, maybe draw some penalties, and they did just that. He told him the same thing between periods 2 and 3. So let's see if they can put at least an equalizer up there.
Turnover, Clemson got in and a shot just through the goal mouth. A wide open net, Clemson couldn't bury it. A chance there for Adam Montag for his second goal of the game, and he puts it through the goal mouth. Bobby Van Dusen brings it ahead now. Cam Mecca shoots one. That one stopped by Jacob Badger. Badger flashing out that right pad there. Peters shoots that one, and another save by Badger, and he doesn't know where it is. Fortunately for him, it's sitting right there in between his knees. But Jake Badger, two big saves here early on in period number 3. 41 shots for South Carolina, 27 for Clemson. Much better than the 8 shots on goal that Clemson had after the first 20 minutes. Second game of the Palmetto Cup Series. South Carolina taking game 1 back in November. A 6-2 win. Saw Duncan Hickman score the game-winning goal, his only goal of the season thus far. As this puck drifts back now, Avery Pruden's got it. On the backhand, he shovels it over for his defensive partner, Tyler Oakley. Looking through center, a fanned-on pass. Luke Rudman couldn't settle it down. Nick Pizzo's in after it on the forecheck. Off the boards, the Tigers regroup. Vanderleest chops it over to the far side. Watched heavily there by Rudman. Ben Smith slacks it back in, and a paddle stop there by Badger. Tigers reset as we just click over the 17:40 mark here in period number 3. Ahead for the Tigers, it's Montag. Montag brings it to the back end, puts it upstairs, up over the shoulder of Zach Lynch, over the crossbar, over the glass, and into the netting for a stoppage.
There's a nice execution done by the Clemson Tigers on the loose puck in the neutral zone. Went into the zone on a 2-on-1, almost a 2-on-2. Great move there by Montag, but couldn't bury it.
Montag really showing his wheels here in the latter stages of period number 2, and again early on here in period number 3. Gamecocks try to sneak on a late change, but Nick Peters is sent back to the bench. Back on the ice now, Avery Pruden. More confusion here as to who's going to take what face-off. Zach Weeks is thrown out. Coming in to take this draw is Ronan Egan, and he wins it. Back there. It'd be much easier if the Gamecocks had numbers on their sleeves. It's difficult when they're facing the other direction. But meanwhile, Avery Pruden off the boards now. Duncan Hickman's got it. Hickman would normally play with Peters, but Peters was sent back to the bench. So a bit of a mix match here on the back end for South Carolina as they try to get things out of their own zone. Sometimes you got to move backwards to work it forwards. Avery Pruden behind his own goal sets it up, takes an awkward bounce off one of the stanchions, and ahead comes Zach Weeks. Zach Weeks touches it off sides. He tries to sneak that one over the line, but the watchful eyes of the official blow the whistle there. We'll have another stoppage here. 16:55 to go in period number 3.
This period so far has been all Tigers, it seems like. They've coming out of the intermission energized on that 3-goal period that they just left, and let's see if they can capitalize even more.
Right now, it's going to be a question of who can hang on the longest. Both teams taking shots. That's stopped by Zach Lynch and flipped all the way back down the ice. Icing called. These two teams trading opportunities, but as of late, Clemson has had the majority of them.
And as you mentioned before, Dillon, playing for the next goal. The next goal is a turning point, no matter the score, as you mentioned before, and it can either break this back into a 2-goal game or bring the Clemson Tigers within 1.
Jake Tenji said that the scoring of that most recent goal gives him more urgency as this one comes in from long range. Goes off loose in front. Oh, and a diving stop by Zach Lynch. What a save with the paddle. Still they poke away at it, and the play is blown down. An absolutely acrobatic save by Zach Lynch. Larceny with the paddle. Keeps it at 5-3 for his Gamecocks. And yes, sir, a well-deserving round of applause from his bench. What a stop by Zach Lynch.
Yes, now it seems like he thought it went to his left off the boards. Kind of was looking that way. Found out that the puck was on the other side and just made a huge diving save. Caught that with the glove, threw it on the goal line, and smothered it.
It's one of those instances where technique goes out the window. You are acting on pure desperation. And Zach Lynch lunges out with the paddle. And a big collision on the far side there, and it comes off the glove of Vanderleest, a shot. Hit a skate in front. Clemson still got a chance. Weeks lost his net there. Only for a second. Has to be Hoey in the other direction. Evan Hoey shoots one just wide of the goal. Powderly keeps it in along the boards. Comes up ahead. Again, the Gamecocks keep it in. Powderly lowers his head and gets in after it. Shoveled in on the backhand by Blake Drummond. It goes in behind. Joe Halsey to get it for Clemson. Things slowing down a little bit here. Jack Webster. Puck along the boards. Dumped onto his skates. Webster picked up there by the back of Evan Hoey as Ben Smith regroups. Sends it ahead for Hawkinson. Hawkinson, a long play. Beautifully tipped in there by Ian Powderly. Would have been an icing had Powderly not gotten his stick on it. They'll play it up the wall. Hawkinson doesn't like what he sees, but he waited too long. That's going to be Vanderleest back the other direction. And trying to keep that play in, Blake Drummond, but he hit a sprawled out Corey Hawkinson. That play is blown down offsides with 15:43 to go. And offsides is called again.
Now we got changes for both teams here. Some fresh legs. Let's see if either team can get their next goal in the next couple minutes.
Cole Manor on the ice for Clemson. He's drawn all 3 penalties that led to power play goals for these Clemson Tigers. Always got to watch him when he's on the ice. Again, one of the larger Tigers out there. He's on the near side with Van Duzen. Backhanded up ahead for Van Duzen. Pops off the boards again. They'll try to bring it in towards the slot. Losing it for a second. His backhand shot. Oh, and what a stop there by Jake Badger. Puck seemed to hit the netting in behind. Still it's loose, a shot. Save made by Badger. Loose again. Poking away at it. Badger's lost it at the puck. Still loose. It comes out into the corner. Another scramble here for South Carolina. They shoot one. Save made, and it just trickles through the crease. All Gamecocks now here for the moment. A beautiful skating there by Cam Mecca. 10 through the crease. Rebound. They score! Wide open and on the far side. The Gamecocks buzzing around. They make it 6-3. An open net there on the far side. Gamecocks make it 3 once more.
Now that was pretty to watch, wasn't that, Dillon?
Absolutely. Fantastic passing. Looks like Bobby Van Duzen passed it in, and the few Gamecocks that have traveled here from South Carolina, or excuse me, from Columbia, we're still in South Carolina. Geography's hard. The few Gamecock fans that have traveled here from Columbia, certainly making their voices heard here. Bobby Van Duzen gives the Gamecocks a 6-3 lead. Taken down to the ice there, one of the Tigers. A fan has his hand in the air, but not an official. No penalty will be called. Thrown all the way up into Clemson territory. Suda's going to control it. He'll wrap it around the boards. Nick Pizzo intercepts. Ahead, Clemson with more speed in their stride. They bring it ahead. A long shot. May have caught the blocker there of Zach Lynch. It comes ahead, and again, more jousting. Pizzo got a stick up high there. They'll throw it back in. Touching up now, Paul Cunningham. Cunningham on the forecheck. They throw it back ahead. Ian Powderly can't get to it. Up in the air. Barely missing those yellow support beams. Around now for Hickman. He can't handle it. 14:24 to go here. Recently a 6-3 game. The 44th shot of the hockey game coming off of Bobby Van Duzen's stick. Icing waved out. Pizzo gets to it first. Centering pass. Loose in front. Just cleared out of the paint. Nick Peters. Glove down now. Luke Rudman, my apologies. Pizzo in the corner now. Chopped away. Pizzo still has it. Kicks it ahead. Nice skate work there. Comes Luke Rudman. On the backhand. Curl and drag around. In the slot. Kicked out by Badger. Some solid work here as extremely winded Ian Powderly goes to the bench. Forwards will get a change now. Intercepted now by fresh legs. Isaiah Jackson throws that one. It's kicked out by Zach Lynch. Around past Hickman. It comes off a Clemson stick. Picked up by Nick Peters. And now Ronan Egan's going to try to make his way around Jack Webster. Egan in after it. Egan with another one of his wingers stapled gun to the boards. Isaiah Jackson's got it headed the other direction for Clemson though. Onside. A saucer pass just escapes the stick of Jacob Vanderleest. Ronan Egan's going to come back for South Carolina. Adam Montag's going to try to get that puck away from it, and it drifts all the way back out to center. And the Gamecocks will control from their own zone. Peters motors on ahead, tries to cut through the middle. Denied there by the stick of Jack Webster. Below the stripe, Clemson breaks it out. Brought away there in a shot. Glove save by Jacob Badger. Ronan Egan gonna have to try a little bit harder than that to get his second goal of the season.
That was beautiful awareness there in the crease by Badger. Really following the puck, up the ice, and that quick turnaround shot there caught him by surprise, but he was able to flash the leather and get a nice glove save to add to his resume.
Badger, an extremely visual goaltender. Always has his hands out in front of him, and another nice glove save there. Proving my point. Thank you, Jacob.
I love when that happens, don't you?
It's the best. 12:50 to go here in the third. That, I don't even know if they're going to count that as a shot on goal. That puck probably didn't have enough mustard on it to get over the goal line. They'll drop the puck in, move it back now. Can't be held in by Evan Hoey. And brought ahead now. Matt Wilson Skates out wide, centering pass pops all the way up in the air, gloved out by Hoey. Still, where is it? And Zach Lynch has it. No more after the whistle. The official races in from the blue line to ensure that no more extracurriculars take place. Zach Lynch hangs on for the face-off. It'll come to his left, and we get another breather here.
And that was a great setup, or idea of a setup, but was just tipped before it got into the slot for the Tigers to execute and make it a 6-4 game.
Schreiber to go for it here. He's going to win it. He needs a winger to step in and help him. No one can really come up with it until Brian Soar does. Ahead to the far side, Ian Powderly muscled off that puck. Ben Smith on the forecheck. Powderly holds it in. Ian Powderly now swats at that puck. Corey Hawkinson below the goal line. Leaves it for Powderly. Powderly can't get to it. Nick Baltus going to motor it on up from his own zone. Nick Baltus with speed. Smoking on in. Cuts to the inside. Shoots one just wide of the right post. And now a delayed penalty as somebody touches it up. Will Clemson go back to the power play here?
Looks like it, Dillon.
12:10 to go.
They are sending...
Looks like it might be Brian Soar. Ben Smith, the guilty party. He'll head off and we'll wait for the official ruling on his booking. But Ben Smith back in the penalty box for another 2 minutes. Didn't see what the call was there, but Ben Smith in the box.
Looked like he gestured towards a hooking call. Can't be too sure about that, though.
Clemson with 3 power play goals already. The Gamecocks recently upping their lead back to 3. And the Tigers here, Montag's going to take the face-off. They're going to try to get their 4th power play goal of the night. Back out to the point now, walking the line, center point. Back low, it's Jackson. Jackson in the slot, shoots one off a leg. All the way up in the air, through the netting, over the glass. Somebody's got a souvenir.
And a young lady from Shawinigan.
I knew you were going to say that. An homage to the amazing Doc Emmerich. And an inspiration for us all here at the Capital City Sports Net. Gamecocks win this one shorthanded. Vanderleest regains control. Walking the point now, back down low. It's Vanderleest at the top of the circle. He walks up, looks netward, and that one flipped on goal, hits the glass. Again now, closely watched by Tyler Oakley. A centering pass. Still more players go down. It comes loose out to the point now. Long range shot, catches the glass again. Off the stick of John McKean. Isaiah Jackson for McKean. McKean now, far side circle. Muscled off the puck there by Tyler Oakley. Turning towards the point now is Baltus. Baltus back now for McKean. Walking, shooting one off the leg, and that one goes into the corner. Again, a delayed penalty. It's going to be against South Carolina. Bazzer gets to the bench right as it is touched up, and we're going to have 1:03 of 5-on-3 action here in favor of Clemson. A slashing call. We caught this one. And it is going to be Tyler Oakley headed off to the penalty box for South Carolina. And sticks being gripped a little tighter yet again.
Yes, now it is imperative for Clemson to really take advantage of this 5-on-3, or if not, just being up for the next 2 minutes, whether it's one guy or two. You got to find the back of the net here to really make the game close, reaching the halfway point of the 3rd period, and they need 3 more to make it an even game.
Jake Tenji, one of the penalty killers, out for South Carolina. Clemson works it at the point. Near side, looking for the one-timer there. Couldn't get to it as Alex Schreiber goes in behind the goal line. 3 Tigers against 1 Gamecock. Jake Tenji comes in to help. Puck pops out in front. Now to the point. Long shot, catches the glass. Schreiber behind the goal again. Moves it down to his stick. It's going to be Paul Cunningham. Cunningham doesn't find anything that he likes. Duncan Hickman out for this crucial penalty kill. 35 to go on the 5-on-3. It's a long one. Hickman will not relinquish control of the puck. Jake Tenji comes in to help him out. They're going to move it up along the wall slowly. Now the puck finally squirts out. Jake Tenji with a nice hit there. Hickman take it down, but away from the puck. Tenji diving all over the ice. And now more players come after Tenji. Tenji grabs a man, and now we've got a melee in the corner. Jake Tenji taking shots now at a man. It's pandemonium here at the Pavilion. Duncan Hickman gets involved. Paul Cunningham goes after Duncan Hickman. The officials finally step in. Jake Tenji arguing his case for the official. Somebody's lost the helmet here. Andrew Butterfield without a lid. And we're going to have to take a couple minutes to sort this one out and catch our breath.
Yeah, all that unsorted so fast for the fans, the players, and the officials. So the officials need to congregate here, see who instigated, make a call. Let's see what happens here. Tenji looks like he's being directed towards the penalty box, and he is.
Absolutely, Jake Tenji going to sit for at least 2 on that one. Duncan Hickman in the penalty box as well. Nick Pizzo seems to be the only non-guilty party in Garnet right now. Pizzo looks on as a very crowded penalty box here for South Carolina. Duncan Hickman, Jake Tenji, and Ben Smith going to have a chance to exchange notes.
Who's that in the box now for the Tigers? That looks like it is
Butterfield.
Number 27, Andrew Butterfield. Seems to be a guilty party.
Still without a lid. He's going to jaw a little bit here with Ben Smith. Ben Smith, always one of the more vocal Gamecocks, as we were fortunate enough to see last night in our second period intermission.
Got some conversation going on at center ice between the teams and the officials.
There's
Isaiah Jackson joins.
There is not enough room in the South Carolina penalty box for all 3 of them to sit down. And for some reason, that's hilarious.
We might need the penalty box attendant to get out of there real soon. Make some more room.
Jake Tenji still trying to plead his case here with the official. Nick Pizzo tries to sort this one out with the officials as well as Captain Christian Suda for Clemson.
Let's see here, the official grabbing a nice water. It's really imperative to hydrate.
Hydration is key.
Yes. Water or Gatorade guy?
Big Gatorade guy. Gatorade Frost, obviously the superior flavor. You can't go wrong with Gatorade Frost, whether it's...
For me, I like the Great Powerade, contrary to popular belief. It's in all the fountains, you know, at Moe's and Five Guys.
As we kick unbiased to the curb and make 4 shameless plugs here. Shouldn't we be getting paid for this? No. 10:24 to go here in period number 3. The 2 penalties that remain on the board. 14 seconds remain on Ben Smith's penalty. 1:12 on the penalty to Tyler Oakley. Duncan Hickman in the box, as well as Jake Tenji, and still head coach Alan Serwa is going to have to get involved here, trying to sort this one out. It looks like Alex Schreiber is going to be in the box now for Clemson. The scorers are waving the officials over because they don't even know what's going on. Alan Serwa is going to try to figure this one out as Jacob Badger goes for a skate in the corner.
Now, on top of sorting this interesting situation out, this is a great opportunity for Coach Loughran to organize his team, maybe drop some face-off plays, and try to boost them, you know.
Coach Loughran's had enough time in between plays here to write a novel. I'm sure he's had enough time to draw up a couple of power plays.
I'd read it.
I would totally read that. We talked last time about the experience of Coach Loughran. I'm going to try to get all this right. 1993, 94, a few years spent as the New York Rangers road manager through a Stanley Cup. Was gracious enough to show us his Stanley Cup ring just a few hours ago.
I slipped it on, Dillon. It felt amazing.
It's something else to have a Stanley Cup ring on at age 19, regardless of whether you won it or not. And then Loughran moved on to be an assistant general manager of the Florida Panthers, general manager of an AHL team in San Antonio for a few years, part of the ownership group, or the management group, I should say, that brought the Greenville Swamp Rabbits down to where they currently reside from their original home in Johnstown. And now, after battling esophageal cancer, Coach Matt Loughran finds himself behind the bench here of these Clemson Tigers. Truly an inspirational story here as he tries to sort things out for his team. And again, just one of the great things about this game is you meet so many wonderful people. Coach Loughran, Coach Serwa, even some of the officials we've had a chance to talk to tonight have been just some of the absolute best.
Yes, and going back to Coach Loughran, he actually, very small world, he worked with my uncle when he was in the organization for the Rangers.
There you go. You always know someone here in the hockey world. You always know someone. As we might get back to play here, we're going to figure out the personnel, who's going to play with how many. For certain, we will have 3 Gamecocks on the ice, and it looks like the Tigers will remain with a 5-man unit. Jacob Vanderleest dropping back to a point position. Nick Peters, Evan Hoey, and Nick Pizzo obviously frustrated now as they just want to get this thing going. The timekeeper frustratedly putting these penalties up there. It's going to be Butterfield and Schreiber in the box for Clemson. They'll sit for a pair each. We haven't heard of any 10-minute misconducts, which can be customary in a big scrum like that. Jake Tenji wrapping up, I believe, Andrew Butterfield and pulling his helmet off. We might not see Jake Tenji until the final 24 seconds of this game if he was in fact assessed a 10-minute misconduct. We saw in last night's game, it was, let me see if I can get this right. We had one of the Charlotte 49ers thrown off early. Connor Williams, no, it was Lovelace, Richard Lovelace thrown out with a misconduct with about 5 minutes left in the game. That won't happen here as we briefly had play restarted. Got a little ahead of ourselves here. John McKean brought that puck in offsides. So we've moved from the face-off down in front of the Carolina bench about 40 feet down, right in front of us here. Brilliant view there, that face-off win, as it's one back to John McKean. McKean for Vanderleest pops up. Nick Peters trying to swat it away. Final second, and it comes through. Penalty, not the penalty. The penalty is not over. The chance in front there, almost a power play goal for Clemson. Yawning cage. The Gamecocks still have about 46 seconds here on the 5-on-3. Slot chance. They work it back down to the outside. Back to the center point. John McKean wrists one. Save made, rebound. It just goes wide. Below the goal line, they'll walk it out. Back for Isaiah Jackson. Jackson shoots one, knocked down in front. It goes in! They score a power play goal. Jacob Vanderleest makes it 6-4. 9:41 here to go, and the Tigers back to within 2.
That was a great setup pass through the slot. That one connected this time, wasn't tipped. That was imperative of the Clemson Tigers to find the back of the net on this man advantage, two-man advantage, whatever the case may be. Let's see if they can keep this energy up and draw closer, maybe even tie the game up with 9:41 to go in the third.
Still quite a bit of penalty time left. Jacob Vanderleest getting his first goal of the night, brings him to 10 on the season. And we've got more confusion along the far side. That scorer's box, a hot spot now. Everybody's skating over there. I'd have to bring the Zamboni on just to cut that part of the ice, because the track to the penalty box is well worn by this time. Tyler Oakley has been released. The Gamecocks will get one man back. Brian Soar, the lone defenseman right now. Brian Soar drifting back. The Gamecocks able to move it forward. Cam Mecca chips it in behind. Cam Mecca and Bobby Van Duzen with Brian Soar. Centering pass for Van Duzen, can't settle it down. He shoots, he scores! Bobby Van Duzen, a short-handed goal. The Gamecocks make it 7.
What a quick turnaround that was.
Out of nowhere, Bobby Van Duzen and Cam Mecca team up. Gamecocks reclaim their 3-goal lead.
It was great use of the puck on that short-handed possession, as you probably can't hear me right now because Gamecock fans are starting that famous Gamecock chant.
It is loud in here, but not for the reasons you'd expect. 7-4 Gamecocks with 9:25 to go. As empowering as that goal may be, the Gamecocks still have a lot of penalty time to kill. They can't get too far ahead of themselves here with 9:25 to go in period number 3. A lot more hockey yet to be played.
A little confusion. Face-off circuit.
Off the tie-up, it comes free to Bobby Van Duzen, the goal scorer. That puck spiked out of the air. It'll come back to John McKean. McKean twirls around in front of his goaltender. Turning shot there. Almost a chance for Cam Mecca. Gamecocks not afraid to forecheck here short-handed. It's worked so far, but we've seen that come back to bite so many teams so often, as this one lofted all the way back down by Evan Hoey. And the paddle of Jacob Badger will set this puck free for Nick Baltus. In motion, Nick Baltus turns away from a Gamecock. He comes in, escapes a hit from Hoey. Baltus centering pass knocked down by Blake Drummond. It comes into the slot and taken all the way down the ice by Blake Drummond. Is slashed on the play. He's got to shake that one off. Drummond favoring his left hand here. 30 seconds to go here on the 5-on-1. It's a 4-on. It's a 5-on-4 now. There's one penalty. The penalty to Jake Tenji will expire now in 20 seconds. It took me long enough to get that out. Isaiah Jackson now brings it ahead. Off the boards, it comes in behind the goaltender. The Clemson penalties have expired, but they can't get back to the bench until stoppage of play. Loose puck as someone lost a stick. It's held into the point there. Joe Halsey's got it now for Clemson. Halsey goes down to McKean. Out of the box is Tenji. Shoots one. Rebound just wide of the post and put through the goal mouth again. Second opportunity that Clemson has come just inches from from putting one in the net. Adam Montag again. Second wide open opportunity. Dillon Jacob now as behind the play. More Gamecocks and Tigers scrum. Dillon Jacob pokes it back in. Tigers will regroup. Halsey into the support beam again. We've got another stoppage of play. Joe Halsey going for the field goal there. He will not get it. As 7:44 to go here. One penalty remains, and they've got it. They've given it on the video board here to Brian Soar. That's not right. They've got 23 listed up there. It's actually Duncan Hickman, 22 in the box for South Carolina. As they bring it into the zone now, offsides. And finally, Duncan Hickman released from his sentence. The Gamecocks are back at even strength. They allow one goal on the power play, the fourth power play goal against for South Carolina, but they get a shorthanded one. The goal by Bobby Van Duzen, and that's where we got to right now. That's how we got here. It's 7-4. 48 shots for South Carolina, 36 for Clemson. Certainly upping the ante here in the latter two periods. Off the tie-up, it comes in. Nick Peters is going to have to get it, and around it comes for Bobby Van Duzen. Van Duzen can't get a clean handle on it. Still it comes out. Nick Peters swats at it. He can't get it either. Below it's Manor for Clemson. Manor around the boards. Back down for Manor. Centering pass, that one off the outside of the cage. Manor gloves it down to his stick now. Looking towards the point. Can he find a secure pass? And he does. Wrists it back down low by Jack Webster. Manor can't handle it. Gamecocks break this one out. Van Duzen gonna have to settle this puck down. He crosses over the line. Bobby Van Duzen centering pass never got to its intended target in Cam Mecca. Clemson breaking it out. An attempted odd man rush. Van Duzen on the back check. Clemson's gonna go for a line change. Long shot kicked out there. Booted aside there by Zach Lynch. More players collide. Zach Weeks loses it. A chance from a sharp angle. Save made by Lynch. Where's the puck? He's got it covered. He got a couple of sticks to the face there. Lynch gonna have to regather himself. He appears to be all right, unfazed on that play. As going hard in the net there was Christopher Rivera.
That was a great save there by Zach Lynch. Looks like that puck caught him by surprise, came from the side, not the backside. Caught in his pads, fell on it, smothered it. We got a face-off to his right.
Making a bit of an old school save there, putting the pads together while standing up. You haven't seen that in quite a while. Butterfield tries to swat at a puck, it doesn't work. They'll bring it back ahead. Ben Smith races in after. He's got Powderly as the trailer. Ben Smith and Powderly. It comes free, no one can find it. Chipped up ahead, Smith still not done, he makes a hit. Smith and Powderly, puck squirts out of the puck. Powderly a shot, and looking for it is Badger. He looks behind him and nonchalantly picks that puck up from behind him, but still in front of the goal line. Is 6:13 to go here. Badger's got another save.
Now, previously having goalie experience, Dillon, when you don't know where the puck is, what do you do on that kind of save?
You don't move. You don't move. You look around, you try to find it, you try to seal all the holes. Because, if you start flailing around looking for it, you run risk of knocking it into your own net. And I have a feeling that had Badger started flailing around for that puck, he could have knocked it into his own goal and given the Gamecocks a 4-goal lead again. Hawkinson brings it ahead now, tries to undress one of the Clemson defenders, would not go. And now another shot saved by Badger. And again, so many of these Gamecock shots seem to be coming right into that logo area, which really it's the least effective shot selection for the Gamecocks. They want to go upstairs, they want to find the holes, but they're putting it right at his logo. And if you're going to get it on net, get it down low towards the pads, get a rebound. If Hawkinson puts that one on the net, he puts it to the far side. Badger's going to kick it back down into the slot, and it's going to be a grade A rebound chance for the Gamecocks. Clemson's been doing it all night. They've been shooting low, getting rebounds off Zach Lynch, and they have converted numerous times because of it. Meanwhile, Clemson brings it out of their own zone. Up ahead for Jacob Vanderleest. Vanderleest wheels outside of Blake Drummond, but Drummond gets a stick on it. Drummond still battling for it. Pops all the way up in the air. Lands right down in front here. Nick Pizzo's going to have it. Pizzo can't control. It comes ahead for Isaiah Jackson. Jackson's dump in will be taken by Evan Hoey. Hoey goes D to D to Drummond. Drummond will take the glass up to Nick Pizzo. Pizzo chips it ahead here. A chance for Rudman. Rudman can't settle the puck down. Approaching 5 minutes left. Drummond a one-time shot. Didn't get anywhere near as much on that shot as he would have liked. And Clemson moves it ahead again. Vanderleest, the lone Tiger forward. He's sent down emphatically by Evan Hoey. A thunderous hit there. Vanderleest didn't stand a chance. Vanderleest stands about 5'9" off of skates. Evan Hoey 6'1" without his. A physical mismatch there. Manor tries to redirect that puck through his own skates. Dillon Jacob throws that one off the stick of Blake Drummond. Chipped back in by Nick Pizzo. He's going to get a line change. Taken down on the play is Blake Drummond. Fans want a penalty. No call will be made. Badger settles it down. 4.5 to go here in the third. Gamecocks with a 3-goal lead, but anything can happen. And if anything has proven that sentiment, it's been this hockey game as another puck goes off the roof. We're going to have another stoppage in play here in the basement.
That was a good one, Dillon.
I try my hardest.
They're really trying to raise the roof, aren't they?
Oh, I wish you hadn't said that.
Can't take it back.
Wow. You just get left speechless sometimes, folks.
Appreciate that.
Zach Weeks can't win the face-off there. It comes back. The Tigers will chip this one ahead. They break it out over their own blue line, over the red, and now over South Carolina blue. Taken down, avoiding a slash there is Wilson. Nick Peters off the boards. It'll be taken by Duncan Hickman. He plays it behind his own skates. Nice little play there by Hickman. Zach Weeks crushing the puck closely. Down low, it's Webster. Defenseman here, not afraid to pinch in for Clemson, especially Webster. And now a chance in front. They can't work it out. Webster still down low. Nobody covering this near side point for Clemson. Still, it's underneath. Weeks works it ahead to Owen. Jacob, my apologies. Matt Owen, a late scratch here. Dillon Jacob, wearing number 24 tonight for South Carolina. Muscled off the puck there is Joe Halsey. Halsey's got his stick tied up there, and now 3-on-1 for South Carolina. Backhanded pass. Poor execution there. It results in Nick Baltus carrying the other way for Clemson. His shot kicked out. Rebound save made by Lynch, and he makes that one too. Baltus the shot. Crashing the net for a rebound was Joe Halsey. And Zach Lynch absorbs that puck for a rebound. You saw it. The first shot was low. It kicked off the pad of Zach Lynch. And the second shot right up into the breadbasket. Lynch able to smother that, but shots off the pad result in rebounds.
Yes, that was a great chance for the Tigers, but an even greater adjustment by goalie Zach Lynch there to really find that puck off his pads and make a great save.
Right off the faceoff, that puck drifted in on Lynch. He was equal to the task. Bouncing puck rolls out towards Baltus. And with an empty net here, 3 minutes to go in the period, Clemson trail by 3. A vacated cage. They've got 6 attackers. At the line, this puck's going to drift all the way back down, perhaps just a few feet wide. And since South Carolina is at even strength, this play going to result in an icing call. That's got to be up into the 20s here on icing calls for South Carolina with 2:51 to go in the third.
As you can see here, Clemson's creeping back on the shots total. It's now 49 shots to 40 in favor of the Gamecocks.
8 shots in the first, 32 in the last 2. Clemson not going quietly here. They've got their work cut out for them. Extra attacker on that puck comes down to Manor. Manor working his way back towards the stripe. Manor loses it. He backs it back in. It's going to be offside. Hawkinson takes a shot at the empty net. It goes down. Ben Smith hauled down on the play by Manor. 2.5 to go. In his own end, Christian Suda comes back around. Ben Smith on the forecheck for South Carolina. Smith retreats, going to go to the bench for a line change. Corey Hawkinson in. Suda brings it ahead, and they can't control. Comes all the way back out, pinched against the boards by Suda. And now back in, Van Duzen controls. Glove down by Manor. Manor in the slot, shoots one just wide of the goal. And now Lynch got himself turned around. Back in it comes. Lynch swats at it and it goes just wide. Lynch got bowled over by Manor. No call on the play. Tyler Oakley got involved in that. Zach Lynch trying to get himself back together. He's trying to find his goal stick. Got to put himself back together before the next Clemson rush. Minute 48 to go here. Isaiah Jackson brings it ahead. Jackson over to the far side, Vanderleest. Watched closely by Hickman. Hickman takes Vanderleest hard into the boards. He saw numbers. He did not pull up. That could very well be the end of the night for Duncan Hickman. Fortunately, Jacob Vanderleest does not seem to be shaken up on the play. Hickman's going to be taken to the box here. He tries to argue his case, and certainly no avail going to be taken there. Duncan Hickman's going to sit for the rest of the night.
This is going to be a very big 6-on-4 opportunity in favor of the Clemson Tigers. Let's see if they can execute like they've been very well doing on the power play tonight.
6-on-4, a two-man advantage for Clemson for the remainder of this hockey game, unless they score. The official still talking to Duncan Hickman in the penalty box. Meanwhile, the puck is dropped. The bouncing puck goes off the stick of Cole Manor. Manor's got it again. Isaiah Jackson at the point. D to D it goes. Balta's shot goes just wide. Manor trying to get it to him. Manor underneath for Vanderleest, right around in front. Shoots one, still loose in front. Nicely taken out by Nick Peters. Manor got it back to the center point. Baltas. Watched closely by Nick Pizzo. Baltas shot, save me, rebound, loose in front. Oh, and they score! Cole Manor past a sprawled out Zach Lynch. Gonna make it 7-5 here on the power play. A minute 14 to go. The Tigers now need only 2. We've seen so many instances of Zach Lynch just flailing all over the place. Desperation helping him sometimes, but not this time as the Tigers cash in for their 5th power play goal of the night.
Yes, all goals being scored on power plays tonight for the Clemson Tigers. And that was great execution of those rebound passes off the pads of Zach Lynch that you were talking about earlier, Dillon. Let's see if they can execute that again as it was saved by Lynch net. Right on that C.
Empty net. Still down to our right. Jake Badger on the Clemson bench as Zach Lynch makes a save here. Approaching the final 60. A back-and-forth game, no shortage of scoring. Something that the Gamecocks are not unfamiliar to in the last few games. 8-3 in their last game, 8-6 in the game before that. Point shot tipped in front, goes just wide. The Gamecocks risked this one up off the glass. Tiger, Isaiah Jackson goes hard into the glass. I don't think he was even hit. He just lost his footing. Final 60 to go. We've got some enthusiastic Gamecock fans. Empty net awaiting Cam Mecca. Can he send it in? A nice defensive play there by Nick Baltas. Mecca tries to pick himself up. Back out into neutral territory. Down to the ice. More Tigers. It's a pile-up. Tenji tries to swat at it with his glove. Mecca can't get to it. More players go down. Mecca goes down. Drifting down towards the empty net. Doesn't have enough steam. It does, but it goes wide. Final 30 to go here. Jake Vanderleest looking for a Clemson miracle. Vanderleest swings it out wide. Centering pass goes to no one. Back out to the point now. Loose in front. Zach Lynch lost his goal stick, but he makes the stop here. 16.2. The officials race in from all corners of the arena to make sure nothing more happens here as we are just about through here. 16.2 to go here. Still, anything can happen. 43 shots for Clemson, 49 for South Carolina. Should the Gamecocks hit the 50-shot mark, it would be the second such time they've done that this year. They somehow racked up 50 shots the last time these two teams met. A point shot now. It's sore in front. Avery Pruden, my apologies. Both men have white face cages. Now a centering pass never got through. Final 5 to go. Loose, they poke away at it. Finally, a whistle. The clock is stopped with 2.8 to go. Shot number 46 is saved by Zach Lynch. And just about one more face-off to go here. And Alan Serwa's Gamecocks can take a sigh of relief because as clear as the outcome of this game was after the first period, it was not that way in the final 40.
I agree there, Dillon. Gamecocks really held their breath, if I had to guess.
Final buzzer sounds. The score here from the Pavilion in Taylor, South Carolina. The Gamecocks A big 2 points on the road. Final score 7-5. They end their 2-game losing skid. Jake Tenji refused to call it a losing streak. A 2-game losing skid snapped here. They now improve to 7-3 on the season. We're going to step aside and we're going to bring you the post-game report here briefly. We got some big news regarding future games in the Georgia area. We'll get into that in the post-game report when we come back here on the Capital City Sports Network, presented by SGTV. All right, welcome back to the Capital City Sports Network for the final time tonight. The post-game report here as the Gamecocks down the Clemson Tigers in Greenville, or in Taylor, South Carolina, to be more specific. 7-5, a huge win for the Gamecocks. They end their they end their losing skid. It's been a long night here in Taylor. And really a back and forth affair all night long. The Gamecocks looked to have it buttoned down after that first period. But what allowed Clemson to come all the way back?
Well, I had a word with Coach Lachlan in between the second and third and asked him what he said to his team in the locker room between the first and second periods. And he said, start slow, make the plays, make the passes. And he even said, try to draw some penalties. And that's exactly what they did. All 5 of their goals being on the man advantage tonight. And whether it was the 1-man or the 2-man advantage, they really executed those passes well, which, you know, despite the loss, really boosts their team because Coach Lachlan said prior to the game that their problem is executing passes and trying to bury it in the back of the net, and they did that 5 times with a man up tonight.
Gamecocks will certainly have to be more disciplined in the future, especially against their opponent next week. Georgia comes into town on the 25th, and for those of you that don't know, Georgia consistently scoring double-digit goals on their opponents. Carter Penzian, one of the most prolific scorers that Georgia has ever seen. The Santa Maria brothers, always dangerous. This game is certainly circled on everyone's calendar. And the big news that we have, Alan Surwatt told us before the game, the Gamecocks will go down while they're in Georgia. They'll play an outdoor game on the 27th against Auburn. We don't know the exact start time. We don't know the venue. We're not entirely sure if we're going to be able to send people down there. But if we can, you better believe the Capital City Sports Network is going to be there. And just how crazy would that be to have a college hockey game in the South? An outdoor game in the South.
I mean, that's amazing. You know, coming from the North, the both of us, we love watching hockey, let alone the Winter Classic. And, you know, outdoor games are awesome. And hopefully that we can send a crew down there and experience it live in action for ourselves.
A huge opportunity, an experience that most of these players would not otherwise get. That's just about going to wrap it up for us here at the Capital City Sports Network as your Gamecocks take down the Clemson Tigers by a score of 7-5. For everyone here at Capital City Sports, for Johnny Hartel, I'm Dillon Clark. Thank you for joining us. Good night, Carolina, and forever to thee.
You are watching the Capital City Sports Network on SGTV.